Good morning, Yogi. Let's get started in tabletop shape, bringing your hands and knees onto the mat. We're going to get right into it today. Pressing the palms onto the ground, tailbone drawing back, head drawing long. Take a moment to land here to feel your palms, all 10 fingertips on the mat. And then we're going to do a little bit of a meditation here as we come into awareness, into practice, pressing your left baby finger, your left ring finger, your left middle finger, your left index finger, your left thumb, your right thumb, your right index finger, your right middle finger, your right ring finger, your right baby finger into the earth. Now, feeling all 10 fingertips in the ground, let's start to come into some movement. And maybe that's a cat and cow for you today, breathing in and exhaling out. And maybe that's more of a circular movement. So I'm really going to give you permission here. It's your start to the day to allow yourself to come into movement that feels good, that feels enticing, that feels available and accessible to you. And we'll just be here for 5 more breaths. Really allowing whatever is going to show up today to show up, allowing whatever needs to be shook out to shake out, allowing whatever is available to you to rise up and become available to you. And once we finish this last breath together, we'll come into a tabletop, firming up belly, bringing it into the spine, really noticing your hand position, spreading those fingers nice and wide. Bring your right leg along and let's press the ball of the foot into the ground. And you can shift a little forward in your and back if you'd like. I really love to wake up the legs this way, but you can also stay static and just draw the heel back and wake up that whole leg. Maybe even squeeze your thigh muscles onto your thigh bones. And if you'd like, you can stay here and just really explore this feeling and the shape. And if you're looking to come into more of a balancing shape, then you can lift your right leg off the ground. If you're lifting your right leg, you're going to want to make sure that your belly is really firm here, so strong. And then if you'd like, you can reach left arm long. Again, these are all just options for you. And if you've got some breath starting to open up in your body, then you can add that ujjayi sound, that ocean breath to the back of your throat. Let's take 3 breaths here. Last breath in. And then drawing any limbs that are lifted back down onto the earth. Let's come through tabletop, feeling into your cow pose, breathing in, exhaling to cat. Coming to the other side, both hands are planted into the earth. And again, the ball of the left foot now extends long and back. And you might notice that on this side, it's a little different. You just explore, what does your body want today? What is showing up for you? Maybe that's a movement, and maybe that's just statically staying still and just feeling your body on the earth. Yes. And then again, if you'd like, you can lift your leg. Some days I just want to stay on the earth. And some days I'm just ready to bring it all out and bring it all forward. And so if that's you, if that's your mood today, then you can extend the right arm long and balance that table. And we'll breathe here, opening up that ujjayi breath. Again, firming up through the belly. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. And then bringing hands and knees down onto the earth, finding that cow pose. Exhaling to your cat. Ha. And from here, let's walk hands forward. Maybe grab blocks. I'm going to demonstrate. I'll show you this shape with blocks because I tend to prefer that first thing in the morning. Pressing palms into the blocks, lifting hips up, finding downward dog. Ha. You can take your feet nice and wide here, all the way out to the edges of your mat, and bend your knees. Get long in your spine. Notice how my shape might not look just like the downward dog that we've been taught to come into. But, in the beginning of the day, when we're shedding off the evening and the days before, it can just be so nice to be supportive in your body. And this is one way in which you can be really, really supportive. So bend those knees so you can take out any length, any rounding in the spine, and get just long, 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 long in your spine. Then you can always remove the blocks if you want, but it's a nice way to start. Let's take 2 more breaths in this downward dog. And then on your next inhale, bend knees and gaze forward. Let's take some tiny steps to the front edge of the mat. Inhaling to a halfway lift, nice long spine. Exhale, fold to the earth, let it go. This is our morning practice. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling to your halfway lift. Exhaling to let it go. One more. Let the body breathe. And let it empty. Now bending through your knees. Let's slowly crawl hands up the body, all the way up to standing. Inhaling, sweeping arms up to the sky, connecting palms overhead, stretching up to the ceiling. Breathe in. On your exhale, you can dip over to a side. Doesn't matter which side. Just get a nice long full body stretch. And then come back up through center and drop over to the other side. Yeah, come on up to center, stretching both arms nice and long. Exhale, bring hands down to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Landing here, let's take a breath in and out. And then from the top of your mat, inhale, sweeping arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold down to the earth. With your right foot forward, maybe blocks underneath your hand, step left foot back, finding a runner's lunge, and then let's drop the back knee. And so if you have a blanket here and if you'd like to use it, you can use it. Just prop it underneath your knee so you have some support and some comfort there. And then let's just press into the right foot, getting nice and strong in the press of the foot, maybe bringing a hand onto the knee, maybe both hands. Sometimes that's nice. Sometimes it's nice. And this is really just about the angle of your torso. Sometimes it's nice to stay with your hands on blocks. And you'll notice on different days your body shows up differently. This can be a really opening shape. And if you're just not feeling the urge to open your heart too much, then keep your hands on the blocks. Let's breathe here for a couple more breaths. And then when you're ready, if you'd like, you can lift up back knee. I'm going to lift up my knee for this practice, but you can also keep it on the earth. Really just, again, it's a different angle, so it's up to you. And then we're going to bring right hand onto right knee. This is starting a twist. You can begin to twist the whole body. Now pressing and turning the heart towards your right thigh, towards your right knee, maybe reaching right hand up to the sky. And we'll take 3 breaths here. Last breath in. Wonderful. And then exhale, right hand back down onto the block. Lifting up through the left back heel. And watch me here. We're going to spin it open. So the whole foot comes into like a warrior 2 foot. Right elbow on right knee. And then you can reach left arm forward, reach it up to the sky, turning your torso, coming into side angle lunge. If there's one shape that just is the most invigorating and delightful way to start the day, for me, it's this shape. This is like a good morning for the body. It's like a warm morning greeting. Let's take 2 breaths here. And then on your next breath, you can bring left hand on to the left hip, reach right hand forward. We're just going to leave it forward here. 2 breaths. And then cartwheel both hands down onto your blocks, spinning back heel back into your lunge shape. And on your next inhale, step yourself forward. Let's bring hands to knees, halfway lift. Exhale, fold to the earth, let it go. Ha. Slow rise up to standing. If you can, take your time. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a breath here together. Ha. Awesome. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, dive forward, fold to the earth. Inhale, finding halfway lift, hands on knees. This time with left foot forward, hands find those blocks, maybe nice and tall. Step right foot back, finding your lunge now on the other side. And with both feet pressing on the ground, you can drop that back knee, uncurl the toes, pressing hands into the blocks, stretching your head up to the sky, or maybe, leaning a little more forward and anchoring your gaze down into the earth. Now let's breathe here. Every shape that we do is active, right? So just notice, are your muscles working here? Is your belly still drawing towards spine, or your shoulders able to melt down your back? Are you able to find a little lightness in your chest, even if your gaze is towards the earth? And again, you can stay here, and I am going to stay with my knee down today, but you could also begin to lift up through the back leg and come into lunge, and then bringing left hand onto the knee, start to turn the torso towards the left thigh. Hello. And again, you can stay here or come into any variation that's going to feel good for you today. Sometimes it's nice to remove the block. Sometimes it's nice to have it. Sometimes it's nice to reach the hand up to the sky and greet the day with an open heart. So we can do that here. Let's take one more breath in. And then slowly bring hands down onto the blocks and lift up through that back knee if you haven't yet. And then when you're ready, and if you'd like, you can bring left hand onto the knee, and we'll spin that back heel down onto the earth, reaching right hand forward, opening up to the sky, finding that side angle lunge, my favorite morning shape. Hello, greet the day. Add a little sunshine to that feeling in your heart and your ribs, and your whole body and your whole being. Let's take one more breath in here. Maybe bring right hand onto right hip, really firm in the feet here. And if it's feeling good for you, you can bring left arm forward, opening up, breathing in. Last breath in. Cartwheel the hands down to those blocks. Find your way to the earth. We're going to step back here. Maybe come through a downward dog if you'd like, using the blocks to support your hands. And then when you're ready, finding that downward dog shape for 3 breaths. Notice if it's changed at all, if it's shifted, if the body is more receptive to the shape. And just become aware of that. Right? Just become aware of that. On your next exhale, bring your knees down onto the earth. We're going to come through child's pose just for a touch, just for a moment. And then when you're ready, You can roll onto your back. Bring your body onto the earth. If you have blocks and you'd like to use them as support, you may. You can bring your knees into your chest, give them a quick squeeze, rock and roll side to side. Maybe come into a happy baby, opening up further through the thighs. And again, if this end point is feeling good for you, I want you to linger here, right? Indulge in your body, indulge in the rest. And when you are ready, you can send your legs long. You can drop your body onto the earth and come into any shape for rest today. Deepening your breath. And allowing your body the space and the peace to release, to let go. And thank your body for all that it has done to move and breathe and enliven you today. And then directing your attention to what lies ahead. What awaits you? And can you greet that with an open heart, with present awareness, with a bit of joy? You can stay here as long as you'd like, dear yogi. When you are ready, you can bend knees, roll to the side, pausing for, again, just a moment to feel the transition, to feel this shift from practice to the rest of your day. And when you are ready, you can come up to a seat, cross ankles, and bring your head tall. Stack your hands on your heart, and with a deep feeling of gratitude and peace, you did it. You did it. We'll close this practice with a letting go breath. Let's take a big inhale together. Sigh it out. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, dear yogi, and I look forward to practicing with you again soon. Be well.